Hi, my name is Ahmad Uzair and I'm currently studying at Professor Dr. Asin Zlatarov, Burgas University, and it's my first year and first couple months so far. Life in Burgas is very calm, people are really friendly, especially locals there. If you ask for help and assistance, they come forth and help you and all that stuff. In Burgas, in winters, there is not much you can do other than going around the city center. Definitely during the Christmas and New Year's time, it was amazing. I don't know about next couple years, but this year there was a concert, there was fireworks. It was amazing this year. And then there's apparently an ice skating rink as well they've built recently, so you can do that as well. But other than that, Burgas is mostly busy during the summer times because of the sea garden and the beach and the pier, and it pretty much gets loaded with tourists during the summertime. I think it's quite safe. It's actually, compared to what I thought, it's really safe because everything is based in the city center. So let's say if you're walking after 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. in the city center, you won't find anyone doing some sort of criminal activity because there are security, there is police as well standing. So to be honest, it's pretty safe out there. So basically, you can either go with the bus or you can choose your taxi, but I'm pretty sure students, because of discounts and all, they'll choose the bus. You'll get a student discount. You need to collect some documents to show to the bus office, and they'll give you, I think 11 or 13 levs the first time for the card as well, but I think it's an 11 lev recharge per month and it gives you 50 rides. There are international franchises, and you can also find halal meat in Kaufland, as well as you can also find some halal restaurants. There's Tea Market, Billa, and Kaufland and Lidl. Usually Kaufland and Lidl, they have everything that you need at home, from groceries to appliances. So usually Lidl and Kaufland should be the go-to place. In terms of shopping mall, there is one mall called as Galleria, I think, and it pretty much has all international franchises, as well as there is a gym, there is a laundry service, I think. It's not sort of a mall, but it's more of a plaza, Burgas Plaza, I think. It also has everything from a gym to all the restaurants, but I personally go to the Galleria mall because it has more options and variety. There are gyms in the malls like Pulse and Atlas, but personally gyms are cheaper here than back home, so and they have all the facilities and the staff is really helpful, so I think gyms shouldn't be a problem here. Plus the university also, they have 2-3 football fields, they have a separate gym room where you can play basketball, volleyball, so gym shouldn't be a problem at all. Traveling during the winters, I would rather prefer taking a bus to Sofia or Varna, because Varna is closer. And then there are two airports that function in, there is an airport that functions in Varna, and there is an airport that functions in Sofia. There also is an airport in Burgas, but during the winter times, you can only find flights to, I think, England or the European countries. Flying from Burgas to Sofia, it's really expensive during the winter times, but during summers you can definitely find some flights, direct flights with short times and cheap flights to Sofia from Burgas. But personally, I prefer taking a bus during the winter times from Burgas to Sofia. It's cheap, it's a good bus. It gets you there on time. Culturally, I didn't expect anything. There were things I did expect a bit different because I came from the Middle East, I came from Saudi Arabia. So people usually start their day in the evening after 4 p.m. due to the heat, but here at 4 p.m. everything is almost closing. So you have to wake up really early, get stuff done, and by 4 p.m. you're done. Whereas back home it's like wake up at 4 p.m., get stuff done and go back to sleep at 6. Other than that, I think the food, it's pretty much similar to Turkish food, and maybe a little bit of Asian cuisine you can find as well. So there's not much of a cultural shock for me specifically. In terms of language, yes, I do find it a bit difficult trying to talk to locals, and that's I've not tried learning Bulgarian so far, except for what I've taken in university. But I think Google Translate helps you a lot, and your first couple weeks, Google Translate is your best friend. But with time, you do figure out a couple words like Zdravete, Blagodari, and all this stuff. So it's not that bad. As a Muslim, I don't face any racism, or I don't experience any difficulties. In fact, I've found a Muslim community. There's a mosque, a small mosque that functions on Fridays, and I have not, so far, no, I've not experienced any religious difficulties or religious differences. There are Christian people, there are Muslim people, and I've so far no racism. So far, I've seen students that have lived in the dormitory. I wouldn't prefer living in dormitory because I can't cook, and then again there are definitely some restrictions. But I would prefer, and I know most of the students, they live in the city center. The couple students that have chosen the dormitory, they've given it a whole renovation. They've bought their own stuff, own cupboard, own drawers, and all that stuff. And I personally don't think so it's useful to spend that much, because at the end of the day, you're just here temporarily. You have to go back to your country after 6 years. So I think living in the city center, because the university is on the outskirts, you can say. So I think living in the city center, it makes things easier for you, accessible. Even while coming to Sofia, the bus station, I just walk to the bus station. I don't catch a taxi or a bus. So I definitely think living in the city center, and you can find loads of cheap apartments in the city center. So I don't think so finding an apartment should be So yeah, it should. I'd rather prefer living in the city compared to the dormitories. Students should expect somewhere from, if they're sharing, somewhere from 200 to 300 whilst sharing, and if they're planning on living alone, they should expect somewhere from 300 euros to 500 euros as well. I really recommend that you find a landlord and an apartment with a declaration, because it will help you out filling out the details and all in the migration office, and then getting a residence permit. It'll be a little bit troublesome, but then I think you can find really good apartments if you really put your time into it. I personally have found a really good landlord that provides declaration, and I'm paying like 300 euros per month for the apartment, and it's a really good apartment. I live alone currently. I prefer to choose to live alone. A couple of reasons: that I wanted to have my privacy, plus I like to keep my stuff and my house clean, and I wasn't sure that if others would keep it the same way I would expect them to. Secondly, I came a little late, so most of the students, they had found their roommates and they had found apartments already, and I was the one left out. So I had to get an apartment that was single bed apartment. But now that I do have options, I do have people that want to rent an apartment and to become a roommate, or they want to join me in renting an apartment. I still think a couple months, at least 1 year or so, I'd rather live in my own private apartment, have some privacy to myself, and then maybe get adapted to the locals, and then even to the students in university, and then maybe I can share apartment. Personally, it's all privacy and personal reasons. Other than that, I think you can find students who want to share apartments with you. The first year semester starts in October, and then we have multiple days off because of the Bulgarian national holidays, like a Student's Day or something like that. But then we have a proper week or 2-week vacation in Christmas, where we combine Christmas and New Year's together, and then we start again in the first week of January. Other than that, after the end of semester exams, we have a week or 2-week holiday, and then we have to start the next semester. And once the year ends, we have a 20-30 day vacation till the next year starts, and then we join back, I think, in September or something. Because it's the first year for medicine and English, foreign student community, it's maximum 50 to 60 students, so we're like a family. We look after each other, we help out each other, and not just the foreign ones, but the local ones, the Bulgarian medical students, be it from the 3rd or the 5th year, they also come and try to mentor us or help us in any possible way. And I would really say that because it's a small community, small number of foreign students, we really look out for each other as a family more than anything. So I think the student community, it's really good. You'll find all sorts of people from Great Britain, people from Pakistan, people from Egypt, people from, there's a student from Morocco, Kyrgyzstan, and all sorts of people. I'm forgetting nationalities now. But yeah, mostly British people, and mostly, at the end of the day, all of them speak English. They all speak English and they all get together in terms of cultural, and they all vibe out together. While getting into Burgas, I was a bit worried and fearing that it's the first time they're teaching in English. There might not be proper professors speaking English, but then again, when I started university, I was astonished and amazed by the teachers and how they teach, especially cytology, histology and parasitology. They speak fluently, all of them speak fluently, but then there are some teachers that take out the time and they try to help you out, and they were really kind. Overall teachers, I was amazed by the fact that I thought that I would be finding Bulgarian teachers, but I was amazed that they all speak English and they're really professional to their work. They are really helpful. In first year, we have cytology, histology, anatomy, parasitology, biology, chemistry, physics, Latin and Bulgarian. There are lectures and there are practicals. Lectures is where everyone attends so all 50 students have to be in the hall, and practicals is where you are divided into multiple groups and you have to be there with your group. During lectures, the teacher tries to go over the presentation, tries to explain the information, whereas in practicals and seminars you try to get some hands-on experience doing experiments, touching the bones in anatomy, looking at parasites in parasitology, as well as some cells, membranes and all that stuff in cytology, histology. Lectures is basically just reading through the presentation and trying to gain in the knowledge, whereas these practical seminars, they're more of having a deeper insight into it. So basically, there are two types of tests or exams, you can call them, colloquiums, and then there are exams, end of semester exams. Colloquiums are just testing your knowledge. They happen every other week, maybe second or third week, just to test your knowledge, and they're not counted towards your end of semester grade, or they don't grade you based on that. But then the major exams, they're at the end of the semester. You need to study really hard, and other than that, I think teachers are helpful. Whenever you have a question or query or something, they'll come and help you out of their way. Again, every day is different, and sometimes we have to wake up 8 in the morning, sometimes you have to wake up at 12 in the afternoon. It's all based on what lectures and practicals you have on that day. Personally, for me, half of the week it's waking up at 8 or 9 in the morning, going to the university, attending lectures, and you do get free time between lectures, like let's say you have a lecture between 9 to 10, and then from 10 to 12 you'll be off. But I prefer rather staying in the university, studying in the foreign students' room or in the library, to save up the transport and to save up time and money as well. I prefer studying in the university, plus it makes me more productive compared to when I go back home at 3 or 4, I just go ahead and keep my books aside and sleep most of the time. So have a little break off from university, because at university I'm the most productive. The workload, definitely during the exams, it's definitely more stressful. You'd find yourself spending more time in the library and the central library trying to cover stuff up. But if you're up to date with all your work, and if you're covering everything on time, I think it should be enough that you come home, enjoy, talk to your family, get your chores done. And even generally, if there are no exams, if it's just lectures and all that going on during the months, I think you find enough time to hang out with friends, and you get a chance to talk to your family and do all what you want to do in your apartment and in the center. Coming to Burgas, I think the first couple things you might need to download before coming here is Google Translate, Transport Burgas. It's an application which shows you the bus lines and shows you what time the bus is going to pick you up and what is the shortest distance. Other than that, I think, unlike Sofia, because Sofia has Yellow Taxi and Taxi Me, for Burgas you need to search up Green Taxi or Echo Taxi or something like that, and then you have to call them. They do speak English, so it's not something to worry about, but then when you sit in the car, I think Google Translate is your best friend. I think Burgas is much better because personally I like to live in a place which is smaller than Sofia. Sofia is really huge and things are very pricey. Burgas is much cheaper and everything is at a walk's distance. So I really like Burgas, and everyone there is friendly and helpful compared to Sofia. Everyone in Sofia is rushful. They all just want to get job done. They go to their work and come back and all that stuff. And prices are really cheap in Burgas. So, and in the summers, it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, amazing place. So yeah, I definitely recommend students to join Burgas University. The teachers are amazing. And the students also, we're like a family. We look after each other. I hope you enjoyed my interview and you learned something and you gained some knowledge from my interview. And to anyone who's applying next year, I think good luck. As long as you're with Interact, you're in safe hands. Dimitar and Stefani, and especially my personal assistant Dimana, they've been really helpful. I've had visa problems, they've helped throughout a lot, and I really thank them for sticking together with me till the end. So yeah, I think good luck and you'll be pleased with their services. Thank you.